Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to Chat with Charles. I have Magic Man or Octopus Ears or what was the other one?
For a
General
brief, yeah, for a brief moment, is general admission. Yeah.
General Admission. And this is a guy who changes, sometimes changes YouTube names, much like he changes gear. Well, welcome in. Thank you for coming on. Certainly appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. Absolutely. Yeah,
How you
I
doing?
always like watching your show. I'm doing good, man. Doing good. Yeah, I'm back to playing pretty much all the time, and I'm having a good time with it. I went to the Torch Club here in Sacramento, which is our local little music venue. They do music 7 days a week, and they have no cover shows. Pretty much 6 or 7 days a week, so you can always go in there and catch a show and stuff. It's a lot of fun, and my friend's band played there last night, so they're called the Loose Engines, and Eric is my guitar tech. He was playing guitar and slide guitar. He's playing. And then he had his slide set up in front of him, switching in between. And it was a really, really fun show. He doesn't do that all the time, so that was it was a treat.
Oh, wow. So how long did that go on for?
They played from 6 to 8, so it was a 2 hour show.
Excellent.
And then there's I don't know the exact style of music, but it's like almost like a Motown kind of thing going on later. It was the headlining show. I was interested to see that, but I just didn't have the time or money. So
Here you go. Well, I'm going to grab this comment right away because Ben says that was great to hear that you're back and playing again. So,
hey, thanks, man. Yeah, thanks, Ben. Appreciate it, man. And by the way, I always love that intro song that you guys put together.
I absolutely love that he did.
Temper. I think that's good.
I absolutely love that he did that for me, and my goal is to get to where I can play it.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, absolutely.
We're gonna have to start working on lessons for that one pretty soon.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool, man.
All right, well let's see. Let's welcome in some folks. We had Cushman NYC here. He's a great guest.
Thanks, man.
We got Paul McNary hanging out with some cats and probably some guitar projects all around him as well. And Vox, I'm going to go ahead and got your email. Got an email half done for Tony, and I'll send it as soon as I finish here. But Vox was over there on Addicted to Gear and wasn't able to type in the chat. And so, YouTube sometimes does that stuff. But we're gonna see if something.
I got blocked by Kiesel guitars. As much as I love them, they blocked me because I was talking about a Kiesel that was for sale on Reverb in their chat, and they weren't too happy about that. they want you to buy from them. So,
well, yeah,
innocent mistake, but I get it, kind of.
Yeah, I know, but that's still kind of a dick move because you're still promoting their guitar.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. Yeah,
it's like yeah, I get it that they want you to buy it from them, but you're talking about their guitars. That's a mention of something. This is a guitar I think worth getting, right? And because it's not like you were saying something negative about it.
Yeah, I thought that same train of thought too. I was like, man, I'm not disrespecting it at all. I just kind of like, hey, anyway.
Yeah, I get it. Oh my gosh. We got Earl Cool Eye saying, howdy friends, what are we drinking? Well, I'm starting off a really nice strong cup of coffee here. And so is Earl, and he's noodling on his telly through a Tonex and a VP4 into a JC40 killer sound. Oh my God. I'm a little jealous here.
What's the VP4?
I don't know. I wonder if it's a pedal or something.
Yeah, Earl, if you could tell us, what's the VP4? Because I've heard good things about the Tonex, and I obviously know the JC40 is awesome.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. I wish I knew the answers to all these questions, but I'm just a guy who pretends to be a guy who plays guitar on YouTube. I don't know. And we got brother Ed, and he's saying hello to both of us. Well, hello there. We got R2R3 Lock and Nut here. Let's see. We got Vox Guitar Rocks. We got brother Eddie Fay saying hello. We got Brian from Searching for Tone. time surfing alien. I'm telling you, this new one is this new avatar is. I love it, but I still kind of miss the other one. I can't decide. Can't decide.
I've been liking a lot of these little thumbnails, but that one is really good though.
Yeah, well, I like his original one with all the little aliens in like the bucket there, and
Yeah,
but this is pretty cool. This one's it's growing on me more.
it's more. It's like more exact.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's more with the name, right? For sure. We got everyone's favorite music law, Ryan Hall, who just
Ryan, oh brother, what's up, dude?
just put out a video, and what was it? It is yeah, long. He did a cover of "Long Cool Woman in a Black Dress."
Oh, right on.
Well, I am like itching to get over there and check that out. And if you were smart, you would too. Just saying, got you do it. Of course, we got Brother Ben Coombs. We got Keith H. Keith H is here, folks. We got Michael Kraus. yeah, Michael, I made a mistake, I think. We got Wayne McConnell saying hello to me and to you, Brett. And let's see. We got Martian Murray, fellow Texan, here in the chat. JP Page 2.
Hey there, JP.
Yeah, Cushman NYC.
Cushy, Kush.
And more of the West Coast is up with us with Hip Metalworks.
Yeah, what's up, Hip?
We got GMT Art and Music, and I think that's a new one for chatting with Charles, I think. But I do recognize that avatar. I've seen it before, so glad you're here.
Right on. Welcome, dude.
Mm-hmm. We got Zach Thong.
Hey, Zach. What up, man?
Love this guy. I mean, coolest acoustic guitar collection, I'm telling you.
Oh, right on.
We got Guitar Man 45. Hello there, Bo. Let's see.
Guitar Man. What up, man?
We got Ian and Indy.
I like that picture too. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like it. We got areas Dashley Dave. What's up, mowing? Catch you on the replay. Got it. Fellas got to do what a fella's got to do.
Yeah, man. Get that
especially before it gets too hot out there.
Definitely. Yeah, I have a feeling we're going to start getting some warmer days coming up.
Well, we've already had 100 degrees here.
Have you really? Oh, wow.
It was 106 the other day here in
holy crap.
Yeah. It's only going to be 93 today, so it'll be cool.
Yeah, and I can deal with the 90s, but yeah, when it gets into the 105s, that's crazy. That's too much, especially for it's not even June yet.
Mm-hmm. Well, we got Ryan at OU812 here with us. We got Blackjack Guitar.
Yo, Ryan, what's up, Blackjack?
Love it. Hello there. We got Matt from McCollum Music. Trying to greasy monkey guitars is here with us, and so is Arf. Jimmy Bider with the WhatsApp. We got Brother William De Silva. We got Bonkers. Welcome in. Let's see. They just keep coming. All right, and so that's everybody. So now we can get down to the good stuff. Okay, so the reason why we're late, it's all Charles's fault, because Charles does the conversion from Central to Pacific yesterday and tells Brett, okay, we go live at 9 your time, which was correct. And then Charles sends Brett the link this morning. It says, okay, I'll see you at 9:30. And so
I was a little confused, but it wasn't your fault though, because I told Charles, I woke up at like 3 o'clock this morning, and I forced myself to go back to sleep because I didn't want to ruin my day, and I just had trouble waking back up. My alarm didn't go off, that whole thing, but I made it.
Oh, so the lateness is really, I think it's really all on me, because I said 9:30, and you always go with the last time, right? It's like, well, Brett, want to thank you for coming. It has been way too long since you and I have talked.
Yeah, it's been a minute for sure. Yeah, I mean, I always, I shouldn't say always, but just about every week come in and pop in, and kind of lurk on your show and watch and
Mhm.
see what's going on. But yeah, dude, I'm glad you're, staying strong with the show and doing well with it, man. It's always consistent entertainment. That's like, what I like about YouTube is you can rely on it. When you guys are doing it every week, it's like it's always
Mhm.
something I could be like, oh, let's pop in a Charles show, see what's, see who's on, see what's going on, and I love that consistency of it.
Well, thank you. We've taken a little bit of a break for the last couple weeks here. I had
Yeah, I
lost
did notice that.
we had lost a family member,
Oh
and
shit.
the week before last, and then last weekend was just a convergence of my birthday, my anniversary, and Mother's Day all
Mother's
on the
Day,
same
yeah.
day. So
Yeah, wow.
um, kind of hard to justify to the missus why I
Right.
should do a
Yeah.
show Sunday morning.
Yeah. No. Let me hop on with my YouTube friends while we're. Yeah. I don't think that's not cool.
Yeah. Let me go ditch you. Let me go ditch you on Mother's Day and
Yeah.
your
Exactly.
anniversary for a couple hours, and I'll be right back.
Yeah. Well,
Thank you,
condolences
Blackjack.
about
Appreciate it.
your condolences about you losing a family member. That's always tough, no matter how close or not close you happen to be.
Mhm. It is. It is. But let's turn this one around. And so, Brett, since the last time that you talked, and because I stalk you on your channel, and there hadn't been a lot of activity on the channel, but I have
No. Yeah. It
seen
hasn't
you.
been anything
I've
lately.
seen you here and there on Music Therapy Labs,
Yeah. Yeah.
and but so what have you been up to all this time?
Um. Well, like I said, for a minute I did take a break. From maybe November, December until I guess probably March or so. So it was a good, 3, 4 month break that I wasn't really playing,
Hmm.
and it was kind of good in a way, inevitably, because I'm not on this. I don't have gas anymore. I
Hmm.
don't like. I'm not chasing everything anymore. I'm not watching all the YouTube Anderton's videos on every little thing that's coming out, all the, every pedal that's coming out, every little thing. I'm more focused back where I wanted to be, which is on the music itself, and
Hmm.
actually trying to write something that's worth listening to, and that's really where my focus is now. And I'm probably going to end up buying a bass at some point, so I can. I'm going to start writing. I think I was playing bass at Skips the other day, and I just realized like I think I'm better at writing with the bass, and then I can like use the bass to write, and then use the guitar to complement the bass. And I think I'm going to get a lot farther with writing doing that, using that method. But yeah, I've also I'm trying to. I've had just things kind of go wrong too in certain ways. So it's like it's not like I've had some kind of very productive, very linear upward trajectory in the last 6 months.
Hmm.
I had my JTM Marshall took a crap on me, so I got to dump, dump some money into that at some point to get that working properly again. But I also did. I kind of made a friend here locally. So him and I have been hanging out a little bit. He's also a musician. I met him at Skips. We just started playing music together, and all of a sudden we're like, hey, this is like actually kind of good. We should do more of this. And so I've been hanging out with him and just I'm trying to gear myself towards playing more live shows, trying to get into a band, trying to actually do more because I think the next step for me to get better with guitar is to play with other people in
Hmm.
live situations frequently. I think that's going to really up my playing, and if I want to get better, that's what I got to do. And if I don't want to get better, I got to find something else to do, kind of thing. That's kind of where my mindset is. I don't, and I'm okay in some ways to just hang on and just play for fun and just that kind of thing because I do enjoy it.
Hmm.
Um, but part of me is like ready for, I guess, something to happen in a way. Like like I want to. It'd be fun to feel like I'm going somewhere with guitar and not
Right.
just.
You're going. You're got another stop on your journey. Right.
Yeah, and I know that like I have the ability to do it, so it's a matter of just like kind of figuring it out. It's like I know that I have the physical ability. If I needed to play a song, I know I could do it. So that being said, I just need to find the people to play the song with now, And then, because I think I have the venues, I kind of know the venues around Sacramento, all right. And then once you get a solid set down, you try to, put yourself out there and get into those situations. But yeah, so yeah, that's what I've been focusing on the most, I guess, is trying to write music.
Well,
Um,
let's kind of take let's go back on that for a minute, because you were saying that you're finding it a lot easier to write with the bass in your hand.
yeah.
And so what is it about that is making it easier?
So it's weird. Part of it for me is so even though guitar, I think if you would ask most people, okay, so here's the thing about bass. When you're listening to it on an album, if you're not listening through like a great sound system, you don't
Mhm.
really hear the bass that much. Like as much as you really do is when you're hearing a live band or a live, show, whatever. When you go see a band live, that's when you really hear the bass, and the bass, is more prevalent than on the album typically. Um, and I think I didn't really understand that because after picking up guitar, after playing bass, I'm realizing that the impact that each note has on a bass, because it's a thicker string and a bigger sound, the
Mhm.
impact is greater just having single notes. And I play a lot of single note stuff. So when I'm like, my single notes have bigger impact, it kind of changes how I can find the groove a lot easier. I can write things a lot easier because it's like, oh, that note has so much impact. I can build around that note easier. Whereas guitar doesn't have, like, you need to almost create the impact. Like, I don't know. That's the best way I could describe it. Like, there's like there's an intensity to the bass that guitar doesn't necessarily have, um, and it just comes down to the how good the instrument sounds with single note stuff. And I play a lot of single note stuff. I don't play as much chords as I would like to.
Mhm.
So I think the bass just lends itself to me to
I get that, but it's also that whole idea though, when especially if you're listening to a song with headphones on, right? Because like if you the speakers, you miss stuff, but when it's
yeah,
being piped directly into you, you kind of catch it. The
yeah,
bass for me is it's like that backbone of the song, right?
oh totally,
I
yeah,
mean,
exactly,
think of how many songs open with a bass line,
yeah,
right? Because it's getting you into that rhythm and the tone
yeah,
and the whole vibe of what the song is going to be. And so that lays it down, and then the guitar fills in the details, right?
yeah. And see, that's exactly how I feel about it. Yeah, that's a great way to put it. The bass, the backbone, the guitars, the details, and that's what makes sense to me when it comes to writing too. Because like writing just some guitar riff or chord structure, or whatever, and then
Mm-hmm.
playing bass to that doesn't really make sense to my brain's like that's backwards. Don't what are you doing?
It is, and it's and it's. I think as guitar players, we sometimes get locked into our sound and our tone. But how many
Yeah,
times have you heard, okay, that sounds great when you're playing alone, but it's not going to penetrate the mix.
yeah, yeah. And part of it, one thing I've realized about tone too, is sometimes it's just about EQing out sounds you don't like more
Mm-hmm.
than trying to build sounds you do like, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of like, oh, I want this, I want a tube screamer with this and that. It's like, no, just get rid of the frequencies that are bugging your ear, and you're gonna love the tone. Like it.
Mm-hmm. Well, brother Ed is asking: is this guitar that you've got with you here that you're noodling on? Is this your go-to guitar?
Yeah, this is the new number one, and I've
Okay,
had
I'm gonna
this now.
solo you out so we can check this out.
Okay, so I've had this. I think I got it in March. So I've had it about 2 months, I guess. So not super long, but I feel really good about it. I know I've said that about a bunch of guitars in the past, but I'm really enjoying it.
Can we get a look here?
Yeah. I'm just like I'm trying to get the right words because I don't. I know everybody's like, yeah, right. We're gonna see another one in like 2 months, but
2 weeks.
we'll see.
Give it 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's got some interesting color in the body there. Oh, very nice. I like the black in with the red. It's just
Yeah, and it's so it's a studio. It's a 2011, and it weighs like 7.8 pounds. So it's like it's really light for a Les Paul. And I know all these studios are chambered and all that, but still, I got a friend with a 2004, I think, and his is another pound heavier. So, but yeah, I mean, and I love the way it sounds. The only change I need to make to it right away is my tech's gonna put because it has the PCB board, and so I'm gonna have my tech put in proper 50s wiring.
Yeah.
But yeah, outside of that, it sounds like a Les Paul should, and yeah, I'm really digging it. So we'll see.
Well, I think the chat is agreeing.
No, it's a 2011, so it's just a regular studio.
So one of the things. So you're really. So how long have we had this one? How long has it been in the arsenal?
I should try to find the exact day that I traded for it, but it was sometime. It was either February or March. I'm pretty sure it's February. It was probably mid to late February. So I've had it for 3 months.
Oh, that's pretty cool. So it's been 3 months. It's been there. It hasn't gone anywhere. We're not looking at anything else. This is.
I did a nice. It's getting to the point where it needs it again. But I did a nice deep clean on it recently too, where I took some this Music Nomad guitar wax and waxed the body and everything and made it real buttery smooth, and it feels great. That with the nitro finish, if you ever have a sticky neck, use some of that. I call it Carnauba Nuba wax. What is it called? Carnauba wax. I call it Carnauba Nuba wax, but the Carnauba wax, like it'll make a gloss neck feel super smooth. So if you ever have that sticky feeling, try some of that wax and see if it helps.
Here you go. So Blackjack wants to know if you still got the LP Junior.
No, I don't. No, I don't.
Oh, that's good. Well, welcome in, Charles Green. And Mach says that guitar is just simply beautiful. So
I love it. So the thing is, I did play a Fender custom shop in San Francisco with when I was hanging out with Laz and Alex Radford, and it was one of those things where like I might like this better than my Les Paul, but it was a $3,500 custom shop, so that option's not there for one, but it also kind of tells you how much I do like this guitar, that it takes a top end custom shop for me to be like, yeah, I might like this a little better than my guitar.
Oh my.
But what's funny is that my friend that has one of these, it's the same color, same gold hardware and everything. It's a 2004. He bought brand new, and it's his number one guitar that he's had for since he bought it new. I've been, like I said, it's funny. It's the same color and everything. It's just like he showed me. He's like, "It's my number one guitar." I'm like, "I have that guitar."
Well, you're more of a humbucker guy than the single coil guy, aren't you?
I am, but I did grow up on David Gilmour and and Hendrix and Stevie Ray Vaughan and all those guys. So I do love me some single coils, and Eric Johnson too. I love all that stuff. But I do think for the most part you can get a lot of your sounds from a humbucker. I think you can get a lot out of a humbucker. And one thing I am going to do, because my friend that has this guitar, we have the same tech. That's how we know each other, and he had my tech split the coils, and I was really surprised at how good it sounded on his guitar. It sounded like a Tele, it really did. So I'm probably going to have him do that eventually. Find a good way to split the coils so I can get a Tele sound out of it, so I don't have to think about a Tele, and then I can find my custom shop Strat at some point, and then have the Duo hopefully, and then go from there.
Well, GMT Art Music is asking, is your fingerboard ebony or rosewood?
It is dark, but it is rosewood.
I know on a lot of Les Pauls, a lot of folks like the ebony, but I'm just a rosewood guy.
Yeah, I like rosewood too. I do like it when it's like this and it's kind of extra dark. But there is like I don't know if it's just the wood or if it's just been played a lot, but like down the center of the fingerboard, like it's extra dark for some reason. I don't know if it's just the wood or if it's just been played a lot.
Yeah, for sure. Guitar Man 45 with some sage advice. You want a telly sound? Get a telly.
I pretty much agree, but I was surprised by how much it sounded like a telly by just splitting the coils. Because normally I don't like split coil sounds, but yeah, I was surprised with how good it sounded. But I definitely would like a telly.
I don't know. I'm just one of these guys where too many distractions, right? Okay. Split the coils, don't split the coils. It's like I need to work on just playing the thing. Never right? You need the right sound.
Yeah, I've been because even like a Strat for me for a long time, the 2-tone knobs was like too many knobs. It was that for me was too much for a long time. Mm-hmm. But I've also I don't like it, but I am starting to understand the people that have like those Carvins with all the 10 switches and knobs and all that. I don't want to feel like those can be useful, but I'm also like, no, I can kind of see that being useful, So I'm really torn on that now. And I used to think it was just flat out kind of useless, honestly.
Honestly, and I agree with you on it. But it's like with that, it's like, okay, I'd like to have one just to mess around with, but it's not going to be my go-to. It's not going to be the go-to,
fair.
right?
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
All right, so we've been writing music. And so anything in particular you're working on right now, or?
I mean, I'm always trying to write riffs, and I think part of my struggle, now that we're getting to the center of the question, the struggle for me is to kind of decide what genre I want to play. Like if I were to create my ideal band, I don't even know what genre it would be, and that's kind of it makes it difficult to write music when you don't know what genre you want to write it in.
For sure.
Because I grew up in 90s music, and a lot of 90s music is very like happy, but with a dark message kind of thing. There's a lot of 90s music like that, very upbeat and happy, but also like, very dark. But then I grew up with, a lot of metal too. And then also, like I said, the blues side of me, and meshing those without pissing anybody off is really tough.
Well, I think that's the point, though. You don't worry about pissing other people off. You write what speaks to you, right? It's like, and you don't have to be locked into one genre, right? And like Bo says, we're stop moving, chat. All right, let's see, still moved again. So you play what comes from your heart, right? It's like exactly, yeah. Don't get caught up and worry about that. Just play what you want to play. And as long as you got, if and if it's in a band situation, as long as you get the other guys to go along with it.
Okay, so I'll give you a real a thought that I've had recently. So when I was playing out, so I used to play out solo live gigs where I'd set up a looper with a drum track, and then I would just play along with it, and then I'd write different chord progressions and come up with different riffs, and just that's funny, and so I was just riffing on that, and I would do live shows, every couple of weeks kind of thing. Just show up and just jam out in front of people and see if it was fun. And, one guy came up to me after the show, and he was from Chicago, and he was just like, man, you really remind me of those old Chicago blues guys. And that was like one of the biggest compliments I've gotten in guitar playing. And I just watched a video the other day that was saying I can't remember who it was exactly, but it was one of the old Chicago blues guys saying how scared and upsetting it was to them that their music might die out. And I was just thinking to myself, someone thought that I had some of that in me. Why don't I go keep that scene alive? So I have part of that in me. Just go keep the scene alive in Chicago. People would love you for it, and that'd be a lot of fun. And I'd get to play with a ton of different musicians, just trying, finally focusing on a genre, but I don't know.
And that's the funny thing about blues is I think it weaves into, all aspects of other music too. And so it's there. And I think as a guitarist, we're so used to it that we don't think of it as something that would die out. It's like, before Stevie Ray Vaughan came along, everyone was convinced that blues was going to completely die out.
Well, that's true too. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I kind of forgot about that.
So are you playing regular? Are you playing regular now? Is there a group of guys you're consistently playing with, or was this kind of like a one-off kind of thing?
With that. Oh, so the live shows I was talking about, if that's what you're talking about, was I was doing those shows consistently a couple years ago. I haven't really done a live show in a while, but yeah, the guy that I just met at Skips, we're trying to play consistently, but he's kind of a cool dude. He's really he's a helicopter mechanic, and he's just a really busy guy, and so it is kind of hard for us to get together and play some music. So it's not happening as much as I would like, but we still are and still do and stuff, and we're doing stuff outside of music too. We just went, we had like this barbecues thing at the park, and there's like 20-30 people out there that everybody, that he was kind of friends of friends of friends kind of thing, and we're all just hanging out, we're playing sports and whatever, and just having a good time. And so I guess what this really comes down to is I am focusing more on my life more so than just music, but I love music dearly, so it's always that was the good thing I realized is like I was like ready to, if my life needed me to walk away from music, I was ready to. That was essentially where I was at. If it was what was necessary, I would have done it. But I realized that it's like, no, this is part of my life. This is a good part of my life, and taking a little step away it was a good little break. That's really all it was. Inevitably.
Yeah, and sometimes you just kind of have to walk away from something for a while to see how you really feel about it.
Yeah. And then, but yeah, Laz and I and I believe it's his cousin Joe, and then Alex Radford. We all went to the baseball game a couple weeks ago at Giant Stadium. That was a really great time. They had a walk-off win to win the game on a little league walk-off in the park home run. 2 errors in the final play. It was really fun, really good time. And yeah, hanging out with those guys is always a good time. Yeah, hopefully I make a trip to the Bay Area soon. It's always a good time hanging out with like-minded people.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, it's good. I'm glad that you're kind of looking at everything, and you got an opportunity to look at everything and see what were the things you really wanted to do and what was important. Because I think we all need that moment where we kind of do that reevaluation and check in and see where we really are and put things back in order. And then those things we love become so much more important to us once we shuffle out all the other stuff that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Well, see, there was a question here that, Eddie Fay had a question for you. He says, Brett, have you considered using a writing prompt in defining the style or genre for a song and build it as if you were playing with a set of Legos, i.e. you have styles, chord progressions, etc.?
Yeah, that would be a really good way to do it for me. That would really narrow my focus, a little bit. Because that is one problem I have in general. Like, I have this mindset of, like, anything is possible. Well, if anything's possible, I can choose anything. Well, when you have that much to choose from, it can be daunting. So,
yeah, you get that option paralysis, right? You kind of got to make some decisions or you're not going to get anywhere.
Yeah, you gotta eventually move, otherwise you're gonna be stuck there forever. You gotta be making moves all the time.
Ryan Hall says, Brent, glad to have you back. Always love a good man playing and doing his thing.
Hey, thank you.
Or thing. Let's see. And Ed says, glad Magic Man is back and enjoying playing guitar again. Sure. Okay, so where are you going from here? What's your next move?
I mean, I don't. There's part of the reason that I when I'm doing, because of things like my guitar habit, where I'll get rid of a guitar and get another guitar, say this is my guitar I want forever, and change it and do all this. When it comes to the serious things in my life that like I'm finally like ready to change. I almost don't want to put it out there because it's like that's part of the reason I haven't been talking about it, because I'm making changes in my life, but I also like I'm so committed to make those changes. I want them to be seen, not heard more, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I don't want it to become me just talking about things I want to change. I want to be actively changing these things, you know. So I don't know. You know, a lot of it just comes down to just improving my life in every way possible, you know, and that's really the goal right now.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Yeah, it's like I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to show you.
Yeah, it's kind of what it is, but it's not like I don't want to share it necessarily. It's more just like I need it to happen so badly that I'm willing to, you know, maybe make people feel weird by me not sharing certain things or whatever. But it's ultimately what I think is going to be best for me.
You know, I completely agree with you. It's you know this is your journey. You got to take it the way you feel you need to take it, and you know, and I get that. I like that idea of I don't want I don't really want to talk about what I'm going to do, but I'm going to do it, and you'll see it'll show.
Yeah, and part of it, you know, I've been taking like, especially for me, the last like 4 or 5 years I've been focusing on my mental health a lot, like just trying to kind of sharpen myself, you know, like the same thing I was just talking about, kind of brushing off some things I didn't need anymore, and then getting better at some things I needed to get better in, and just adjusting my mental to be able to continue on for the rest of my life, and without having to worry about my mental in that way. Because there were some things I needed to tweak, and I've kind of gotten past that stage now, where I don't need to make these changes to my mental health anymore, and I need to now it's time to focus on the next step, which is kind of getting serious in some ways, and just doing more, honestly, doing more when it comes to just being a more active, more productive person. But the thing is, I've I've been a very active and productive person in the past, so I know like it's not going to take me long to get there, and I know like what I'm capable of. So it's really just been a matter of time before that switch flipped inside of me. Like, okay, time to get back to what I am, the person I know I am, kind of thing.
Yeah. Some Dave Dude adds a pretty good point here. He says it implies a deliberate narrowing of focus, prioritizing one goal or path while consciously detracting from other potential paths. This can involve letting go of old habits, relationships, projects, and making space for that new focus. Yeah.
Yeah, and I will say this: one thing, one big thing about getting my mental health right was cutting a single person out of my life, and also understanding that, unfortunately, that military mindset of no man left behind got snuck into my head. Where like, if someone gets addicted or it's is going through a hard time, you should try to help them. That was my mindset, instead of sometimes just letting that person go and make their own decisions, and just going on your own path, and that's okay sometimes too. And I was trying so hard to like not let anybody fall, people I knew especially, that it was really dragging me down, unfortunately.
And I get that, and it goes back to that one thing is, if you're always taking care of other people, you got to take that time to take care of yourself first, or you'll be useless to everybody.
Yeah, and I was never taught to take care of myself. I know like how to, and so that's been a whole like figuring that out's been a whole thing too.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure. Yeah. And that's the one thing. It's the one thing that, especially in my work life, I will take care of the other people and make sure they get all their problems solved. I'm a problem solver. It's what I do.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But I always I have a tendency to put myself last. And so this is something that I'm consciously working on. And so it's been a little bit of a struggle lately.
Yeah, dude, I can see that with you for sure. Yeah, it's tough because you know, in a lot of ways it is the right way to be, but when it's coming around to affecting you. And especially my problem was too, is that when there was no one to help me when I needed help, and I'm always there for other people, it would really frustrate me. And I needed to find a way like that. You cannot get frustrated over that. That's just life shit. If you're going to be the one to help people, you cannot get mad when someone doesn't help you. That does not work. That does not add up.
that is a really frustrating thing when you're the one that's there for everybody, and then you're like, "Hey, hold on, I need something." Where's everybody now?
It's tough, but yeah, you just gotta you gotta just pretend like that help's never coming, and you'll be a lot happier. Pretend like that's never coming.
I love it.
When it does, you feel great. You're like, I get some help today. That's awesome.
Well, Jason, Gear Junkie 35 says, if your head ain't right, your hands ain't gonna be right there. Been many times in his life where I haven't picked up a guitar for 6 months until I felt better. And felt like playing.
That's cool.
Yeah. And Michael B says, great to hear, Brett. Been through some stuff myself, and it's well worth the effort for sure.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. Life it's always worth the effort, even the times where you don't think it's gonna be. The feeling of accomplishment, the feeling of success, it always does feel really good, even when the road's really hard. Because man, I've had a rough road, man. I had a brain aneurysm. I was in a head-on motorcycle accident. I just had so much stuff happen to me, and I think that's a lot of it. I've really recovered from a lot of that stuff, like actually and fully, and like really understand a lot of it more now, and I'm just like I am ready for that next step now, and it feels good. It feels good.
Oh yeah, for sure. And Willem says, some people's energy is just toxic, right? It'll drag you down. And Josh is right there with you. Sometimes it's the hardest thing. It sucks when you realize you can't save everybody, and some people drown. But as an ex-infantry, some people are too determined to self-destruct.
It's so true.
It's true. You can be there for people, but in the end, they have to do it for themselves.
Yeah, no, I remember the breaking point for me was that friend that I, was a total POS. Like, he eventually one day said that I don't want things to be good. And that was the breaking point for me. It's like, dude, if you don't even want things to be good, well, what am I going to do?
Yep. And Ed's right. That's the way we were brought up, to take care of everybody around us. And you kind of put yourself last. Yeah. And well,
the thing is, I grew up dirt biking. I was on dirt bikes all the time, and the person who's last in the trail is typically the best rider, because typically if they were to fall and no one's behind them to see, they can generally pick themselves up and keep going. So like once I got to a certain level of that, like I was always the person last in line at, when, especially if I wasn't riding with the parents or something, I was the more experienced rider of all my friends and stuff. So I was always bringing up the tail, and I had a younger brother. And so you get all these mindsets like that build up over time, and you almost don't realize you're that way until like something kind of happens to make you go, oh yeah, I forgot that I'm putting myself completely last, and I'm not focusing on stuff that other people normally would find important.
Yeah. And I like this comment from some Dave dude. And, I once had to sell all my hobbies, and I was hobbyless for 2 years, and it just took the character right out of him. He climbed out of that, and more humbled and better for it. And in the end, a little more gray hair. Yeah. But it lets you know what, yeah, you give up some stuff. It lets you know really what's important to you when you just unplug for everything for a minute, and then you get to reevaluate. And then go ahead.
So I've had the strength lately too, to where if I'm looking at my phone too much, or just put the phone down and walk away. Like, yeah, someone will get a hold of you if they really need to, man. Just put it down, just walk away. So I've been doing that lately too. We're just like completely just like, oh wait, I've been looking at too much internet today, and just put it down and walk away and go do something different. It's like. Mm-hmm.
And JPH2 says, as a father, that is what we have to be to keep the family working. The rock behind everything. Yeah. But even the rock has to take care of itself.
Yeah, true.
And so Zach Long is saying for him,
that's what Led Zeppelin's Stairway to Heaven. That's what the whole song's all about.
Yeah.
To be a rock and not to roll. You're the rock of the family. Anyway.
And Zach says, for him, he plays guitar every day. If he misses a day playing, he doesn't sleep well. See?
Interesting. That's good. That's good to have it so integrated within yourself that you're just like, man, I gotta play. Gotta play. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I can see the inconvenience of that, but it's cool that you play so much.
And Jason's got a good point here. So the fact that the gear community leans so heavily into promoting mental health and getting your own stuff straight, and everybody being there for everybody else, again proves to him audio miscreants rule.
Yeah, audio. Yeah, music people. We definitely are our own breed of people.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. So, when you figure that you want to write something, okay, so are you like putting aside a time and working on it, or you're like you're inspired by something and you go run pick up the gear and start working it out? What is?
Well, for me, guitar is a habit. It's something I pick up and play without even thinking. I'll just like it'll be one of my go-tos. For like, oh, I've been on my computer all morning watching YouTube videos. I need to do something different. I'll just pick up a guitar and start jamming on it, and most of the time it's me trying to come up with a riff, because like all my favorite songs. That's funny. All my favorite songs growing up had like a really good riff, so I'm always trying to find like a really cool riff. Like what would be a really cool riff. So a lot of times it's that, but it's a mood thing, I guess, because sometimes when I pick up guitar, I'm just like, I just have that. Oh, so I guess about me, I'm very hard-headed in a lot of ways. Like if I decide on something, then that's what's gonna happen. Like if I have that decision. So when I pick up a guitar and I just decide, if I just decide like I want to, try to, because the thing is too is I have a few songs that I've started, a few songs that I'm like actively always working on. So I can always like, oh, I should work on that song for a little bit, see if I can come up with anything new. Oh, I should work on that song for a little bit, see if I can come up with anything new. Or sometimes I'll just try to come up with a riff, or sometimes I'll just go around, just, it's really, I guess, just mood dependent, what I feel like doing at that time. But yeah, I have like 2 or 3 like really pretty strong song ideas that I want to expand on. So I'm kind of constantly working on those, but that's why I think the bass is going to help me too, because I think getting out of the rut that I'm in guitar wise would be good too. Not that I'm in a complete rut, but I don't know how to explain it. Like, I just feel like I'm stuck with the songs where I'm at. Like I've written a good little portion of them. They sound good, but I feel like I either need a bass. I need something to change to find the full version of those songs. Like, because they're pretty okay for where they are right now, but like to find the next step in the songs, I think I need something to happen, whether it's approach it from a vocal standpoint and how would I incorporate vocals to it, or I'm not quite sure actually what the next step is with those songs in particular to make them, the songs I want them to be, I guess. Because I've never taken a songwriting class. I've never taken any formal. Well, I guess I took like guitar lessons for like 6 months, but
I love this. My fretting hand seems addicted to the blues.
Oh yeah, no, I default to the blues all the time, and that's why one of my dad's friends, he can't even play with me because he likes a lot of country music, and so many times I'll just default to playing blues, and he's just like, not everything is blues. I'm like, I know, but I was kind of bored of what you're playing. I'm sorry.
Oh my. So Matt says, I'm sick in the head anymore. The doctor said I'm getting better. And ours says, we're all broken out there. Musicians, artists have an outlet. No, for sure. Some great creativity, for sure. Give excitement every day while creating by crafting, and you're playing and can feel like an uphill battle. Creating can help you excited and help you get excited in learning more. And brother Ed says that's why he loves his community. Y'all here for him, and specifically Charles and Blue Mox, and everybody's helpful. So yeah. All right, now Bo says women come and go. Women come and go, money comes and goes, but guitar is right there. It understands. It will never hurt you. It will never hurt you, be mean to you, or let you down a script from behind the waterfalls.
But it's very real. It'll let you know when you're not as good as you were yesterday.
Oh yeah. Well, that's its job. That's part of being honest, right? It's not
Like,
going to lie to you.
you haven't picked me up in 3 weeks. You're gonna suck today.
So Eddie Faye says to round out those songs, round out those core songs you have, you can band out a song using a 1-4-5 progression in the key of C minor and limit it to 4 minutes. Give space for vocals, bass, guitar, and don't fill every void.
Yeah, that's one thing my guitar tech's really good at is using empty space and not just playing a note every absolute moment that he can. He's really good about where he places every note, and it's something he focuses on a lot. It's really I think he's going to have a breakthrough moment and become famous. I really do. My guitar tech, I think he's going to really break through that glass ceiling at one point and become not necessarily a household name, known name in the guitar music community.
Oh, for sure. And it's just
we got Rick rolled in the chat.
yeah, we got Rick rolled in the chat for sure. But no, it's whatever you can do for your own mental health and take care of you, so you can do the things you need to do, go on and help other people. It's pretty much what you have to do.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's. You can try to figure something else out if you want, but that's the way better and easier way to do it.
Yeah, it's like everything. You got to address what you got going on. It's just 100%. Run away from it, and it's just going to make it worse.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so are we looking at more some new channel activity, or are we just concentrating on what we're doing right now?
I would like to do some stuff on the channel, but I think I would like to bring back just the hangs that I was doing. I think those were pretty fun, where I was just kind of, jamming on stuff and talking and that kind of thing, and just kind of, being heard a little bit. That's really what the kind of the biggest benefit of those for me was just, because when I'm on, no disrespect to anybody, when I'm on your show, I'm actually being, interviewed and stuff, so it's totally different. But when I was on Laz's show and stuff like that, a lot of times it's just, trying to get a comment in here and there, trying to say something here and there, and I'm not really getting to fully express how I'm feeling about a certain thing. And having my own channel allowed me to do that, and I think there's a lot of benefit in that. But I have that fear of like, and I guess it hasn't really happened yet, but I want to be putting out good, content and not just putting out, because I guess what I need to, if I'm going to be doing these live streams, because for a minute my guitar playing really fell off, because I took all that time off, it wasn't nearly like, it was to the point where I was like, oh no, am I not going to ever get my guitar playing back? Like,
I'm not going to get my chops back.
Did I lose it all forever? I was really scared for a moment actually, when I was like, oh shoot, I can't. Oh no, I got really scared. But yeah, so part of it has just been getting back to the point where I feel even comfortable doing those kind of shows, like where I could play for an hour and not be completely boring, because there's a minute there where I was just like, dude, I can't play for 15 minutes without sounding like crap. So,
and I think that's one of the things too. If you're doing it, you got to do it because you want to do it, because you're finding joy in it. Yeah. And I find that I don't want to come on and do a show if I'm in a bad space, because I don't want to bring the negativity to the community, right? We try really hard here to keep it all positive.
Yeah, and that's that's why part of it with this break thing for me, I didn't I don't like putting my burdens on other people and my problems on other people and all that too. So it's like part of me is just like I'll come back when I'm ready kind of thing, and I've been here and there, but I think it'll increase more. I think it'll be more in the chats than I have been recently and all that kind of stuff again,
And when you're ready, your streams where you did the talking and the playing, and it was just kind of like the hang. Uh, it was always one of my favorite things on your channel because it's where we got to see
Thanks.
Brent. You
Yeah.
know, and honestly, you have a style of playing that really appeals to me. I always enjoyed it, and I was like, and you just do, and then you go off and you talk about something else, and it was always a lot of fun. And you were good about responding to the chat. So uh, when you're ready, I'll look forward to it.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, I would like to. Like I said, those were the fun ones for me, was the live streams and stuff like that. I feel like you get less. I hate to say it, less crap talking too than the videos, because when you get videos put out and just like it's just there forever, people. It's almost
Yeah.
like they try to find an angle, like, okay, how could I make fun of this guy? It's like instead of like just an honest reaction to the video, it's like, but when you're doing it live, people are much less inclined to just kind of randomly give you BS. Not that it's a problem in our community, obviously, but if you're going to attract new people, kind of thing.
Yeah, and it's that's one of the things where it was a very long time before I got any negative comments in the stuff that I do, but I got one, and it was this one guy talking about, why is he demoing this guitar if he doesn't know how to play it? I was like, well, wow, that kind of hurt. It's like I never claimed to be. It was like, if you, it's like, okay, you clearly haven't watched much of this channel because you'd understand. I try really hard not to pretend to be anything I'm not, and so it's like, okay.
No, and that's the problem, is that it's not about that. That's what's really frustrating, is that it's not about like who you are or what you're doing. It's their projection onto you, and since that there's no, I mean, projection's bad enough, but when it's over the internet and you're just typing in a comment and there's nothing coming back to that person, they don't care about what you say. It's like it's really it's pretty gross. It's like, especially when you see that happening, I hate to say it, from the older people, like we're supposed to be looking up to the older people, and then you see certain toxic older men usually, like, barking at some kids about. So it's like, man, you need to really check yourself. You need to really check yourself.
For sure. Some folks just aren't happy unless they're making other people miserable. And
Yeah.
but it is all about it's all about this section of the community and keeping it positive and in being there for each other. And so that's why I keep doing it, because I'm enjoying it. And on the days where I can't enjoy it, where I feel like I can't be there for folks, I would rather not do a show.
Yeah.
Than to give something that's halfway there.
Yeah, I think that's where I've been too, about my channel and my my situation too, is that part of it too is like, if I wasn't even, I was barely happy with my playing back then, and if I got worse, I'm not going to go out there and flaunt how worse I've gotten. So I want to get back to being better than I was, and then I feel a lot more comfortable about playing for people and stuff. But I'm pretty much there. I feel really good about my playing right now. Feel good about it, and I feel good about guitar in general, and just I feel good about a lot of things right now. I'm very in a positive way, and for me, I just think it's a matter of time before things in my life like greatly improve, not just slightly improve. I have pretty high aspirations right now, so we'll see how it goes.
Well, I'm glad that you're back, and as your friend, I want to just kind of give you a gentle reminder. The fellas here, you can reach out.
Thanks, man.
Anytime.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate
that. So, and Ed says he's really looking forward to checking out your channel and watching some stuff on there, and looking forward. And Time Surfing Alien said, if I watched anyone for their talent, it would be Brian searching for tone, not for guitar though. Oh my. A little gentle ribbing there. Okay, so Brent, thank you so much for coming on. It has been too long since we've talked, and I've really enjoyed catching up.
I had a great time. I wish we had more time. Honestly, I get to, I know this is kind of how it goes, but I'd like to, talk to you more about what you got going on too.
Oh yeah. Well, we will stay on, and we'll pass everybody off to Laz here, and thank you, Ben, for putting Brent's channel into the chat. But yeah, we'll pass folks off to Laz, and but make sure that you guys go on, and you from there you go ahead and catch the OU812 crew in their Sunday Jam and Ben Coombs tonight. Ben, who is your guest tonight? God. Maybe I just might have to go over there and find out. RJ, that's right. You got RJ Ronquillo on, so it's gonna be a great show. So there you go. Well, everyone, thank you for another great hour with Chat and Charles, and spend some time with Magic Man, Brent, and I, and enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Enjoy the rest of the shows, and we will see you back next week.
Thank you, Charles. Thank you, everybody in the chat, so much. You guys have a good week. Good rest of the weekend. Have a good one, guys.
All right, let's see. It might help if I actually get that.